Hello everyone. Uh, in this tutorial, I would like to introduce to measurement of building surfaces by using plan swift and Bluebeam in accordance with BESMF 4R or NRM2. So this will serve as a precursor to upcoming building surfaces measurement tutorial. So I would like to explain some sections that the tutorial is going to be covered in accordance with this BESMF 4R. So first of all, we have like four sections that talks about building surfaces in BSM4R, or all the sections are going to be explained and considered in the course of our tutorial. The first section to be looking at is furniture fittings and equipment. So on this section, what are the items to be considered in the course when we are measuring for building surfaces? What are the furniture, fittings, and equipment? If you look at the subsections under this furniture, fittings, and equipment, you see general fittings, general fixtures, furnishings, and equipment, kitchen fittings, catering equipment, sanitary appliances, and fittings. So for the sake of this business services measurements, we will considering only sanitary appliances and fittings under this section. So on this sub items under this section 1.32, 1.1. So the first item says features, fittings, or equipment recharge services. So what are the features, fittings, or equipment recharge services that are going to be considered a part of mechanical service that are going to be considered under this section? All these are going to be explained when we are doing the training for building surface measurements. The second question is features, fittings, or equipment with surfaces. What are the features, fittings, or equipment with surfaces? The first section says without surfaces, while second section says with surfaces. What are those fittings with surfaces and those fittings without surfaces? So ancillary items not provided with the item of equipment. What are the ancillary items? So let me give you an hint on this on the features. So features, fittings, or equipment without surfaces. There's some sanitary and plan. Well, what about just purchase after supplying? We just place it without connecting with any services or like that. So features, fittings, or equipment without surfaces. What are the features without surfaces? So all these are going to be explained during our tutorial. Ancillary items. What are the ancillary items attached to our sanitary appliances? So ancillary items not provided with the item of equipment. What are the ancillary items that are not provided with item of equipment? So what are the items? All these are going to be explained and measured for under this section. So the next section they are going to be considered in the course for our tutorial is drainage above ground. 1.33 drainage above ground. What are the items to be considered under this section as well? So the subsection say rainwater installations, foul drainage installations. What are the items that are going to be considered under this section? So we're going to measure for pipe work under this section, pipe work, pipe ancillaries. What are these pipe ancillaries under this section to be considered? Items extra over the pipe in which they occur. Pipe sleeves. What are the pipe sleeves? All these are going to be considered in this section. So the next section is drainage below ground. The first one say drainage above ground. What are the drainage above ground? So the next section say drainage below ground. What are the drainage below ground? So all these are going to be considered in the course for our tutorial. So this is the first section that's going to be considered in the course for our tutorial. So the next section is going to be mechanical surfaces. So under these mechanical surfaces, what are the things that are going to be considered? So the first is primary equipment. What is primary equipment? As it's defined by BSN4, primary equipment is defined as plant or equipment from which a system originates. What are the equipment as pertaining to mechanical surfaces? What are the primary equipment? So all these are going to be taught. So the next is terminal equipment. What are the terminal equipment? As defined by this BSM-4, terminal equipment and fittings are defined as any item to which a system is distributed. So what are the terminal equipments? So all these are going to be unveiled during the course of a tutorial. Pipe work, alternate form to pipe fittings, pipe ancillaries. So all these are going to be taught in the course of tutorial. And which among all the mechanical service, what are the section of mechanics are going to be mentioned under the mechanical service? Which one of the mechanical service are going to be measured under draining above ground or under draining below ground or sanitary appliances? Okay. So all these are going to be taught. This is just the introduction to the measurement of building surfaces that is going to be announced. The tutorial of which the tutorial are going to be announced soon. So after this section, the last section is going to be electrical services. Electrical services. So primary equipment. What are the primary equipment under electrical services? What are the terminal equipment under electrical services? Cable containment. Alternative one to cable containment fitting, cables, cable termination and joints, final circuit. So all these items, sub-items are going to be explained and measured for in accordance with BSMM for our NRM2. So let me show you the bill example, bill format of this BSM4R has been prepared for a project. So this is the bill sample of BSM4R. So these preliminaries. So this building service works, mechanical services, external plumbing is the bill format of BSM4R. So everything is going to be explained and how to the tutorial will be focusing, the first stage of tutorial will be focusing on mechanical services measurements, and bill is going to be prepared in accordance with BSM4 by using plan shift and blue beam. So these are the build format for BSM4R. So everything is going to be covered. So the scope of our tutorial is going to be on. So the scope of our tutorial is going to be on soil and waste installation and water distribution system for the first stage of our tutorial, while the second stage is going to be on HVAC, which is heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system, while the third stage of our tutorial is going to be focusing on electrical installation. I look forward to everyone to register when the registration begins. So thank you for listening. Check.